as an engineer, I loved engineering. I want to deliver big projects. I love bridges. I love the steel and the concrete. My actual legacy is actually the communities that have to live with the projects I deliver.
The 526 Lowcountry Corridor project is an interstate improvements project intended to improve connectivity throughout the North Charleston area,
which will improve traffic flow, safety, and it's also a regional project, very important to the state. It's one of the most congested corridors in the state.
We've got 4 communities in North Charleston that are primarily African American and low income. In order to really address the congestion issues, you've got to address the interchange. And when you address interchange and add capacity and add ramps, it directly impacts all 4 of these communities.
Projects like this don't always have an advocate on the other side to help people understand just what their role can be in the project development process and how they can engage and get more for their community than they would had they not chosen to be part of the project.
In addition to designing the project, we were also tasked with helping to address those impacts from the project. This project is literally the 3rd time that these communities are actually being impacted.
Both SCDOT and FHWA wanted to get this right. They were very proactive, they were engaged from the beginning, and really wanted this to be a different type of project.
I was responsible for leading the outreach to environmental justice populations and the neighborhoods and communities that will be impacted by the improvements, ensuring that they had a voice throughout the project development process.
In, I think, May of 2017, where I first met some people who were organizing the project, and then from there, I just wanted to get more involved and wanted to learn more what was going on.
I choose to get involved in the project because so many times communities get pushed out of the way, especially the lower income neighborhoods. And the fact that I am a resident of one of the neighborhoods being impacted by the 526 project.
And so I wanted to go to those meetings to make sure that the messaging was the same at every meeting, making sure that the information was not just accurate, but also in a way that the community members could understand it and see how it would impact them.
When residents or our community advisory council had recommendations for things that needed improvement, we responded. And it was a quick response. We had to be consistent, and we had to make sure that if there was something we couldn't do, there was a true why behind it.
The South Carolina Department of Transportation and FHWA were very intentional in wanting to make sure that these communities, their voices were heard.
We literally went to the community, door to door, spent time interfacing with residents, pastors of churches in the community, their parishioners. We literally just put ourselves in the community to make people comfortable talking to us and to make them comfortable engaging with the project team. The 526 Lowcountry Corridor Community Office is a stone's throw from the neighborhoods that will be most impacted by the transportation improvements.
The positive work that I've seen, especially out of this office, is they make sure that the communities is staying abreast of everything that is going on. The mailing of the flyers, having the community gatherings.
Usually marginalized communities don't have that type of community engagement. And so people typically throw their hands up and they say, you know what, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. There's no reason for me to go to these meetings. There's no reason for me to speak out at a meeting. And so people typically don't. This process was different than that, which was very refreshing.
Our environmental justice community mitigation plan has an estimated value of roughly $146 million. And what that includes is a wide range of different components. And let me just note, these were driven by the communities. So these were all grassroots type commitments that were developed strictly based off of engagement from our communities. And that includes a wide range of things. We've got what we call our Community Infrastructure Enhancement Program. That's community level infrastructure improvements that includes storm drainage. That includes sidewalks and multi-use paths, pedestrian bridges over Philbin Creek, which divides some of the communities, a new pedestrian bridge over the railroad tracks that separates some of the communities, a new community center
Not only are we providing scholarships to students at 4-year and 2-year college institutions, we're providing scholarships for vocational and trade schools. Maybe it's just a one-time class to improve a skill. We're giving residents an opportunity to learn more about starting their own small business. The Project Oversight Committee is there to make sure that every policy or practice that the Community Advisory Council expressed and the community signed off on is actually delivered.
Seeing that the project is done and over and while it's still going on, that what has been agreed to, that it happens.
When I look at parts of North Charleston, it reminds me of where my grandma lives. When I talk to some of our advisory council members, it's like talking to my aunts or my uncles. There's a level of expectation of honesty and respect.
We often heard from the public that the transportation agency is just going to do whatever it wants to do. But I think the reality here is the public realized the power of their influence by being a participating resident, a participating community member. They made their voice not only heard, but it resonated.